Hi guys, have a great day. Special to you ma'am. Hi ma'am, have a great day. So today we will discuss the insecticides and their formulations. So this discussion is divided into four parts. The part 1 is insecticide, the part 2 is the insecticide formulations, and the part 3 is the pesticides safety, and the part 4 is the hazard. So the first one is the insecticides. So as you hear insecticides, this kind of properties, or it means something that we can use to minimize or eliminate the insects that can cause damage to the plants. So example of the insects is the arthropods or any kinds of organisms that can damage the plants. So insecticides is became popular in 1900s. So a year of 1900s, mas well known siya. It's because siguro na-discover nila more daghan na siya daghang mga insects ang nakadamage silang plants. Maybe it became more smaller ang ilang yield. So that's why mas popular ang insecticides, so they can control the pest that can damage their harvest. So, and after the half, it's became more popular. So these pesticides represents no for their damaging level, which means if this kind of pesticides naman na sila siyempre more specific kung saan yun ang ginaghanon silang na damage, so they will use insecticides to keep them minimize the damage of the pest or insects for plants. So that's why they will observe until they reach the damaging level, then they will eliminate or minimize the insects until to keep them from damaging the plants. So insecticide is not universally appreciated. Why? It's because maybe this kind of chemical, or that's what they call pesticides, can damage our health, or it can cause harm to our health, especially if we use this to the plants. Maybe the plants absorb chemical, then we eat the plants, then it can harm us. That's why this is not universally appreciated, or this what they call toxic or toxicity, because of this toxicity of the chemical, or what we call insecticides. So environmental hazards, or what we call non-target effect. So there's small number of product that meet the standard and safety standard of the international agencies. So karon daghan man ang wala nag-meet sa safety standards because of because of this chemical no wala nag-meet, then it's possible na daghan ang mo buy ato nga product, daghan ang nagsilang products nga wala nag-meet standards, then it can harm or it can toxic. So that's why the agencies is always monitor every product that they sell or ginabaligya. So that's why the products always monitored, or they always check if there this kind of product na meet ba sa standards. So ang improvements ni is maybe 6 to 7 years no ang ihang improvements until meet ihang standards, or they will come out of new safety or new improvements of the products or any kinds of products the sale or ginabaligya.
Classification based on routes of contact. So first is contact. So contact is often by walking on the treated surface. The problem with short-lived insecticides or products. So contact is money ang way of killing an insect, which is directly using insecticides. Unlike sa uban insecticides nga paagi pa sa ikakaon or ipasulod sa ilang internal body, kani kay igura madikit sa ilang skin is pwede na sila mamatay dali-dali. So second is the residual. Residual is a longer lead product, so opposite sila sa contact. Duration of days to months or years. So ang residual, which is opposite sa contact, ano siya is, sagdugay na kayo ng insecticides, butang nga area, is effective yapon siya. Anytime nga mo tapos sa insect, dili po ni siya dali-dali ma-expire. Mo ingon nga long-lived products. So third is the stomach poisons. Must be ingested. Provide some specificity. So ingested means kanang dapat makaon sa insect or pest. Example nani is rat killers. When the rat ate the food nga naay pesticides, it can slowly kill the rat sa ilahang internal body. Kinaan dagto na sulod ang poison. So fourth is the translaminar. Passes through a leaf upward to lower surface. Mao ni sometimes kinayuse sa mga farmers sa ilang mga plants, which is spray or dust. Nga kung naay mga insect nga mukaon sa mga dahon-dahon sa ilang plants, dato nila spray ang insecticides. So it's possible nga insect mukaon-kaon sa dahon sa imong plants, then that po mo effect ang insecticides. There are more routes of contact. We have systemic, quasi-systemic, and fumigant. So let's define. Systemic, vascular translocation upwards and outwards. Treat routes to maximize coverage. Fluid feeding and animal parasites are also affected. Quasi-systemic offers localized movement, increasing coverage. Ang systemic is need pamusulod sa body ang insecticides or pesticides para kill sila. Ang quasi-systemic is madikit lang sa ilang lawas is pwede na sila mamatay. So sembra ganiha sa contact o residual. So lastly is the fumigant. It's toxic vapors, inhaled, useful for concealed and immobile stages. So toxic or volatile gases. Like katong mga smoke na makakill sa insect. Atong gigamit sa tuwang farm. So example ani is mosquito coils or katol.
Classification based on chemical structure. Early insecticides, natural based on plant derivatives, oil heavy metals. Plant derivatives refer to material or ingredients that originated from plant. Number 1, pyrethrum from chrysanthemum. 2, rotenone from root of debris plant. 3, nicotine from tobacco plant. 4, neem from tree or Azadirachta indica. So there are 5 types of short-lived variable toxicity. 1 is oil. 2 work by suffocation. 3 some aquatic and plant hazards. 4 dormant and summer oils. 5 monomolecular film for water surface interfere with surface tension. So-called modern synthetic insecticides developed during or after World War II. Most act by interfering with nervous transmission, hence called nerve poisons. So ang kanisya nga poison is ang target ani niya is the nerve. Classes of product include chlorinated hydrocarbons, organophosphate, carbamates, vermectins, formamidines, and etc. Chlorinated hydrocarbons or organochlorides began to be developed in the 1940s. So first of the truly residual product often safe for humans is DDT or dichlorodipinyl trichloroethane. So carbonates developed in the 1950s, intermediate between chlorinated hydrocarbons and organophosphate in toxicity and persistence. So ang DDT is mao jud siya ang first nga chemicals nga atong gigamit sa tambasakan to prevent the spread of insects.
Synthetic pyrethroids developed in 1970s. Low toxicity to mammals, high toxicity to insect, considerable stability some repellencies. So, for example, synthetic pyrethroids is a permethrin widely used in insecticide for its effectiveness against a various species and lower rates to mammals compared to other chemical classes like organophosphate. Formamidines developed in 1970s, different mode of action than most classes. So useful where resistant, develop also active against X. So ang product niya include the chlorodimeform and amitraz. So the product niya is chlorodimeform and amitraz are parts of formamidines classes of insecticide. Chlorodimeform is common use to control a variety of pests, particularly the mites. While the amitraz is also known for its effectiveness against ticks and mites in veterinary applications. So this product crucial roles in integrated pest management strategies and valued for their unique mode of action and efficiency against certain pests. Arbamectins are growth of insecticide and atlimetics developed in 1980s. They are derived from the fermentation of soil inhabiting bacterium called Strepiosis avermictilis or avermectins have proven to be highly effective against a wide range of insect and parasite, make them the valuable tools in agriculture, veterinary medicine, and public health. So one well-known example of an ivermectin is ivermectin, which is widely used to treat parasitic infections in both animals and humans. So ivermectins has played a significant role in combating diseases like river blindness and hepatic filariasis in many parts of the world. Naturalities developed in 1990s are a class of pesticide derived from the fermentation of Saccharophillospora esposa and Actinomycetes bacterium. One notable example of naturalistic is spinosad, which is highly effective against a wide range of pests. While being safe for beneficial insect, spinosad exemplifies the characteristic of naturalistic being environmental friendly and selective target pests without harming beneficial insect. That's all.
Hello. So now we're going to discuss about formulation and insecticides. So what is formulation? So formulation makes the active ingredients easier to use and more effective through the addition and moisture, wetting agent, stickers, and spreaders. And in some cases, it also determines the hazard of applicator and non-target organism. So there are three choices of formulation can be important as the choice of toxicant. First is suspension or flowable, and second is water miscible liquid, and third is a solution. So there are two different types of formulations. First is liquid formulation. So it is a wettable powders that suspends in water and doesn't dissolve, and very common but abroad application equipment. And the second is emulsifiable concentrate, which is a toxicant dissolved an organic solvent mixes with water. And then next is oil or toxicant in oil. And microcapsule toxicant is in polymer until ingested by insect. And also the aerosol, liquid under the high pressure in small cans. Small droplets are produced. And also a pent, that is the example of toxicant mixed into pent for residual effects. And also the ULV, ultra low volume liquid applied in small droplets with a very little or no dilution. Which dilution is mixing. So the second part of second type of formulation is what we call the dry formulation. So formulation applied without liquid, no, say dry. So dust, say dust is a very fine divided and diluted in inert dry products such as talc. So talc is a substance that absorb water, and a granule is a larger amount of toxicant in larger particles. It's a very large called pellets. So like just like fits, it's like small particles, and then briquettes, still larger particles applied to water, where toxicant is released slowly over time. Next is impregnated plastic. No? Insecticide in plastic strips releases as liquid or gas prolonged. No? So next is baits toxicant combined with a drier liquid and or liquid food based attractant animal ingest toxicant with baits.
Component of cell pesticides label. Product or trade name reflect company making cell. Formulation and toxicants, same active ingredients may bear different name when sold by different companies or in different formulation. This phenomenon is particularly common with pesticides. Different pesticide manufacturers often sell product with the same active ingredients but under different trade names. While the active ingredients remain glyphosate, each product may have a different formulation, concentration, or additional ingredients tailored to specific uses or conditions. This allows companies to differentiate their product in the market while offering similar benefits to farmers. Ingredient toxicant or AL, an inert ingredients. Toxicants refers to a substance that can cause harm or toxicity to living organisms. This can include pesticides, herbicides, fungicides, and rodenticides. Inert ingredients are substances that are not active as pesticides but are included in formulation for various reasons, such as to enhance the application stability or efficiency of the active ingredients. They are called inert because they do not have pesticidical action themselves. Type of pesticides: insecticides, nematides, or etc. Uses: destination such as soil, flower crop, mosquito control, etc. So sa insecticides, they are control of insect pests. For soil naman is protecting root crop. For flower crop is preventing damage to flowers and ornamental plants. For mosquito control naman is reducing mosquito population in residential and public areas. So sa nematides naman is to control of nematodes. Sa soil is protecting roots of crop and ornamental plants. For the flowers crop is preventing nematodes and infestation in nurseries and gardens. Sa insecticide, net content niya examples is 1 liter. Name and address of manufacturer, grain guard, pesticide. Then the address naman is, examples is 1 to 3, Greenway, Springfield. Then sa IFA registration number, examples is 56789. And the signal words and symbols, danger, is highly toxic. The precautionary statement is hazard to human and domestic animals. Kung sa route of entry naman is, if the shallow weight, if fatal if shallow weight, and inhale, harmful if inhaled. If the ice naman is causes substantial but temporary eye injury. If the skin or clothing causes skin irritation. For the personal protective equipment is, we wear protective eyewear, long sleeve shirt, long pants, shoes, blood sack, and chemical resistance glove. Sa nematides, for example, sa net content niya is 5 kg. Name and address of manufacturer is manufacturer Agrochem Solution. Address naman example 789 Farm Road Agropel. Then sa IFA registration number naman examples is 98765 456. Then ang signal words and symbol warning is moderate hazard. Then, precautionary statement, hazard to humans and domestic animals. Then, the route of entry naman if the shallowed is harmful if shallowed. And the inhale may cause respiratory irritation. Kung sa eye naman, sa eyes is causes moderate eye irritation. If the skin are coating, may cause skin irritation. So, the personal protective is equipment. So, wear a protective eyewear, long sleeve shirt, long pants, shoes, plus sock, and chemical resistance glove.
Number 1. Toxicity categories and signal words on pesticide level. Danger, poison. These categories indicate the highly toxic pesticide that pose a significant risk to human health. It typically requires a special license or certificate para mag-process na to and handle and apply this sa ating pesticide. Warning. Pesticide categories as a warning are moderately toxic, while they are not as hazardous as those in the danger poison category. They still require a cautious and careful handling during the applications. Caution. Pesticides in these categories are slightly toxic. They have a lower level of toxicity compared to the previous two categories, but still require yung pag-iingat at paggamit nito at pagsunod sa level sa instruction. Caution. We keep out of reach of children ay nangangahulugan nito na paggamit sa pesticide that even less toxic, pero kailangan pa rin natin gumamit ng tamang pag-measure. It is mandatory to include the statement to prevent the accident and exposure. Number 2. Environmental hazards. Pesticide label may provide information about any physical or chemical hazard associated with the product. Number 3 is classification statement. The classification statement on a pesticide label is naka-indicate whether the pesticide is approved for general or restricted use. General use of pesticide can be processed and used by the general public, while restricted use pesticide require a specialized training, certification, or a license para ma-process and apply due to their potential risk. Number 4. Reentry statement. The reentry statement provides guidance on how long individuals should stay away from treated areas after pesticide application. It is ensured that the individuals, such as a worker or bystanders, are protected from a potential exposure to the pesticide residues. Storage and disposal. Instruction. They provide guidance on the proper disposal method to avoid the environmental contamination or harm to the human, animal, or plants. Number 6. Direction for use. The direction for use section provides details, information on how to properly handle, mix, and apply the pesticide. Label terminology. The label may include the various terms that describe the specific include application method or timing. Pre-plant. Indicate that the pesticide should be used before the crop is planted. Pre-migrants refers to the use of the pesticide before the crop or pest emerge from the ground. Then, describe the application of a narrow strip of pesticide over or alongside a crop row. Broadcast refers to the uniform application of the pesticide over a specific area. Crock and crevice indicate the treatment of crocks or crevice where insect may be sheltered or hiding. Foliar describe the application of the pesticide directly to the leaves of plants.
Deep. Submergence of a plant or animals in a bath of pesticide. So, isawsaw mo or ilubog mo ang animals sa tubig na naisagol pesticide. Then, drench, saturating soil with the pesticide. So, basahin mo pagayang yuta sa dool sa tanong. Then, enparo. So, application to the furrow in which the crop is planted. So, applying pesticide within the furrow. Then, oral. Pouring the pesticide along the back of livestock. So, pag-apply og pesticide sa likod sa animals. Then, side dress application. So, application along the side of a crop row. So, applying pesticide beside the crop row at growing stage of a crop. Then, lay-by application. So, application along with or shortly after or last cultivation of a crop. So, ano siya is applying pesticide to control weeds or pests after the last cultivation or before the crop maturity. Then, next question. So, can you list 10 important items that are found on insecticide levels? So, ang number 1 is product name, then active ingredients. Number 3 is IPA registration or direction of use. Then 5, precautionary statement. 6, signal words. 7, first aid instruction. 8, storage and disposal instructions. Then 9, environmental hazard. Then 10 is manufacturer information. Then, can you distinguish between pre-plant and pre-emerge treatment? So, kuning pre-plant, pesticide applied before the crop is planted. No? Ang purpose niya is to eliminate pests and pathogens. Then, pre-emergence. So, pesticide applied after the crop seed is planted. So, pag-apply niya sa pesticide, pag human og tanom. Then, ang purpose niya is weed control and to repel pests. Then, adjuvants. So, adjuvants are non-toxic materials added to a formulation or tank mixture to enhance the product. So, it improves the effectiveness and safety and handling and application of pesticide. Then, though not usefully explained, so they are part of the inert ingredients. So they serve several purposes such as una is buffers, allowing mixing of materials with different acidities. So when buffers is substances na siya added to pesticide to keep their acidity or a stable level. Yan, septeners. Reduce phytotoxicity. So substances na siya added to pesticide to protect the crop from being harmed by reducing phytotoxicity of the pesticide. Then foaming agents may reduce drip. So ang foaming agents kay ingredients siya that help pesticide to create foam which can make it easier to see and reduce drip. So dili kay siya makatag. Then wetting agents. So allow wettable powders to mix with water and stickers where needed. So substances na siya that are help pesticide to spread and stick to the plant surface. Then emulsifier. Allow petroleum-based materials to mix with water. So kani siya ensuring that the pesticides stay mixed and can be applied evenly. Then spreaders. So allow pesticide to form uniform layer to treated surface. Ang purpose niya is to help the spray solution spread evenly, the leaves. So ensuring that all parts of the plant are treated. The last one is the stickers. Allow pesticide to stay on the treated surface. So it helps pesticide to stick to the plant surface, preventing them from being washed away or rain or irrigation.
Personal protective equipment, referred to as a PPE. Equipment worn to minimize exposure to hazard that cause serious workplace injuries and illness. Toxics. Toxics having to do with poison or something harmful to the body. When handling toxic material, use appropriate equipment such as PPE requirement. Number 1, long sleeve shirt. Protect you from UV radiation from the sun, help retain moisture, and protect from element or chemical. Number 2, long pants. Long pants serve as a barrier between your body and potential hazard, such as a fire, chemical, or sharp object. Number 3, waterproof boots. Protect your feet from sharp object and heavy object, chemical spill, extreme temperature, and slippery or wet surface. And number 4 is a hat. Hat protect your head for injury from falling object, and gloves protect your hand from germs and chemical from your object, and hood is protect for exposed to hazardous substances, chemical, oil, liquid, splashes, potentially infection material. Apron should be worn to prevent swelling of clothing during procedure that may involve contact with body fluids, blood, secretion or excretion, and eye protection to prevent eye injuries and permanent eye damage. Toxicity depends on the chemical and physical properties of a substance and may be defined as the quality of being poisonous or harmful to animal or plant.
So our last part we tackle about hazard. So hazard, remember, accident will occur. You must plan for mistakes and equipment failures. Use the less toxic material, know the risks associated with use of the product, and use personal protective gear. So mark or label treated areas and obey re-entry requirements. So what is hazard? What hazard can prevent toxicity in our environment? Hazard in insecticide and their formulation. Hazard can be harmful due to their toxicity to humans and animals. Their negative impact on the environment, the rest of residue buildup in food and water sources, the development of resistant insects and their persistence in this environment. To minimize their hazard, it is important to use insecticides safely, follow proper guidelines, and consider alternative pest control methods. So, the example of less toxic material, that is neem oil, is derived from the seeds of the neem tree, or in the scientific name is Azadirachta indica. So, we proceed to question about personal safety. So, 1. Can you list the types of exposure and the ways in which exposure the pesticide occurs? So, answer is there have 4 types of exposure in which exposure to pesticide occurs. So, 1 is dermal exposure, 2 is inhalation exposure, 3 is oral exposure, and the last is ocular exposure. 1 is dermal exposure. Dermal exposure is skin contact with pesticide during handling, mixing, or application or apply. So 2, inhalation exposure. That is, breathing in pesticide fumes, mist, or dust during spraying or applied to. So 3 is oral exposure. Oral exposure is accidentally ingestions of pesticide through contaminated food, water, or hand-to-mouth contact. The last is ocular exposure. Ocular exposure is contact with pesticide through the eyes leading to irritation or absorption. So, what protective steps can be taken to prevent exposure to applicators? Protective steps to prevent exposure to applicators, that is, use personal protective gear, that is, personal protective equipment. 2. Follow label instructions. 3 is avoid direct contact, and the last is practice good hygiene and store and dispose properly. So there have reading 18 or destruction of ginseng of eggs, or question about from supplementary reading 18 destruction of ginseng eggs. So what is the pesticidal mode of action of vegetable oil? Pesticidal pesticidal mode of action of vegetable oil is suffocates and smaller than eggs of the ginseng moth, disrupting their development and causing mortality. Is timing of oil application a critical factor obtaining control of ginseng moth? Timing of oil application is crucial, as it should coincide with the vulnerable stage of the ginseng moth eggs for effective control. For the last question, how practical do you expect this approach to be on large trees? So, practical on large trees. Due to the difficulty of through coverage and penetration of the oil into egg masses, it may be more challenging to achieve consistent control on the larger surfaces compared to the smallest areas.